What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back for another
What's up? What's up? What's
exciting, thrilling, exotic episode of Monday Night Raw. Actually, Raw tonight was tolerable. It wasn't that bad. Let me go ahead and run through this show. I didn't do last week because I didn't do the last few weeks because it just the energy wasn't there. My energy wasn't there, and yeah, even the night after Raw, the night after WrestleMania, it just I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it, so I didn't do a couple weeks. But I'm back. Let's get this thing started. And tonight was an interesting night. I will give them that. It was interesting. It was much better than last week's episode. Tonight pretty much was Cody Rhodes' first match on Monday Night Raw after being away for 6 years. So that's probably be the theme for a lot of stuff for the rest of this year. His first he's been away for 16 years, 6 years, blah 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 blah. We learned who Bianca's new challenger is going to be. Some more stuff happened with Edge's group. We got a call up. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. My hair poking out like this. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right, so pretty much the show opens up with Miz. He walks out to Miz TV. His guest for the night is Cody Rhodes. They spent the entire pyro budget on Cody Rhodes' entrance. I mean, I was like, okay. He came out, pyro, smoke, get to the ring, pyro, 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 pyro. I'm like, damn. I'm surprised anybody else got it. I think they overdid it for the entrance, but that's WWE for you. He gets in the ring. The Miz takes a shot at his family. Like if your grandfather wasn't who he was, you would just be a plumber. And Cody Rhodes, like the good thing about being a plumber is they can they can clean out things that's full of shit. And I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, Cody Rhodes is pretty much saying, he's back and he wants to go after the undisputed championship. He said belt. The Miz corrected him and said it's a title because Vince's whole thing is don't call them wrestlers, call them superstars. Don't call them belts, call them titles or championships, dumb shit. So he talks about that. It was okay. It wasn't nothing. It was decent. It got the job needed. He talks about how he wants a rematch against Seth and how he doesn't and then Miz like you don't stand a chance against Seth just like you don't stand a chance against me tonight because they have a match in about an hour. They have a match. It was cool. It did what it needed to do. It did what it needed to do. I'll say that. It did what it needed to do. It looks like Cody's first feud is going to be with Seth, so that's good. Do I think Cody is going to take the championship from Roman? I don't know. I'm not going to say yes, and I'm not going to say no. I don't know. I don't know what direction they're heading into with this right now, but I'll say Cody versus Seth is a very good first feud. It's going to be some very good matches. I probably would do about three total matches. Part 2 will take place, and then do another part 3, and then let them be that. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. The first match of the night is Veer. How do you say his name? Veer Mahad. I think I say that right. Versus Dominic Mysterio. Veer wins the match. After the match, he continued to attack Dominic. I thought at some point, as he was attacking Dominic, that Rey would come out, but instead the backstage officials come out, and then he attacked him more. And the next thing you know, he's getting taken out on a gurney. And so it's good to see that they're making him like this monster. I don't know if this means Dominic is written on TV for a little while or what, but it's good to see that he is going to be like this crazy mean monster. And it's good that his first feud is what I think it's going to be with Rey. I think his first feud will probably be with Rey, so that'll be pretty good. I don't have high hopes for him. Sorry. I don't have high hopes for him, but sometimes they prove me wrong, and most of the times they don't. They show a clip from earlier in the day where AJ Styles was doing an interview, and he's attacked by Dominic. He's attacked by Damian Priest, and he's pretty much like, you come from my family, you get these hands and things like that. And as we know, at WrestleMania, Damian Priest helped Edge get the win, and he's now part of this. I don't think they have a name yet, but he's now part of this group with Edge, and supposedly there's supposed to be 2 more added to it, so we'll see how that plays out in the next couple of weeks. So they have a match tonight. They showed a backstage clip of them fighting and beating each other up backstage, which goes into their match. They had a very, very, very good match. And then all of a sudden, like towards the end of the match, when AJ was going for the phenomenal arm, Damian did like this kick and knocked him off of the apron. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he takes a knee in the middle of the ring, and this purple light hits him. And the lights go out. The purple light hits him, and then they go to commercial break. It was never explained what happened. I have no idea why it happened. Yeah, but I will say that's one of the things. At first I was like, when I saw that Mania, I was like, and then when I seen it at Raw last week, I was like, but I'm actually intrigued and interested to see where this goes. I think if they add who the rumor is that they're going to add Tommaso and Rhea, I think that would be a great look for everybody. But we'll see. But right now, I'm very interested to see where they're going. I like what they're doing with AJ. I like that they're going after him. I wonder if they'll give AJ some people or not. But I'm very interested to see where this goes. Then backstage, AJ's like, I don't know what happened out there. I'm going to get them. I don't know. Nobody knows what happens. Like I said, it wasn't explained. So that's the one part of that I did not like. The next matchup is The Miz versus Cody Rhodes, which they mentioned earlier. Before the match gets started, Seth Rollins comes out and he's standing ringside. It was a decent match. It was good back and forth. Cody, of course, gets the win. The audience is very hot on him. And then as he's doing his victory and things like that, Seth gets in the ring with the microphone and pretty much is like, I heard you want a rematch. Now that I know what you're about at WrestleMania, I didn't know who my opponent was going to be, but now that I know what you're about, and I can pretty much see your, how you wrestle and things like that in the ring. Let's go for part 2. Cody versus Rollins versus Rhodes part 2, and Cody says absolutely, yes, absolutely. So like I said, they'll take place most likely at WrestleMania Backlash. To me, that should be the main event, especially if you don't have anybody for Roman. To me, that should be the main event. So we'll see where that goes. I think, like I said earlier, it should be a 3-parter, and then we should move on to something else. But I'm very interested to see where it goes from here. So, backstage is the call up. They did not change his name. We don't have to. We can take a sigh of relief. But right now, Tommaso Ciampa is officially on the main roster. He's a Raw superstar, and he was about to be interviewed, and then Ezekiel is interrupted him. Now, Ezekiel came back last week, who was Elias. I don't know why they changed his whole look. I wouldn't have minded the name change. I just wish they didn't change his look, because he had a good look going for him. And he comes up and he's like, I'm Ezekiel. I'm Elias's cousin or younger brother, one of them. And then Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere and says, no, you're Elias. You used to have a guitar. I know who you are, and this and that. So it seems like the feud is going to be between Kevin Owens and Elias, and I'll go into more of that in a little while. But let me stay on Tommaso for a minute. I'm glad that he's called up. I hope that they do right by him. I know he was like, his time at NXT was he was like way overdue for a call up, but I understand his hesitation from being called up because of how they did everybody else that has been called up. So hopefully they'll do right by him. it was kind of a no-brainer because there was really nothing else left for him to do in NXT. Like, it was zero for him to do in NXT. Just like I think a couple other people need to come on up to the roster. But yeah, we'll see. I think that he should go into the group with Edge. I think that he's I'm not gonna say he's gonna need it, but I'm gonna say it'll do wonders for him. I also can see him being placed into the mid card right now and having a feud with Finn and things like that. So I think that there's plenty of potential. It's just how they're gonna do, if they're gonna do right by him. So only time will tell. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm get my hopes up, but I also don't want to be like, yeah, they're gonna do right by him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm gonna keep an open mind. Let me just say that. Up next is Liv Morgan. So tonight was supposed to be a women's tag team championship match, but the match did not happen because we come to find out that Rhea is actually in COVID protocol. So I don't know if she came in contact with somebody or she has it or whatever, but she's in protocol. So I'm glad they explained that because they have a tendency of just doing things and not explaining. So I'm glad they explained it. But tonight's match was pretty much Liv versus Naomi. It was a quick match. Naomi gets the win, and next week supposedly we'll get Rhea. We'll get the women's tag team championship match, Rhea and Liv versus Naomi and Sasha. So we'll see what happens after that. Up next is another segment that I'm kind of interested in and I'm kind of not. Bobby Lashley is out for the segment. As you all know, last week MVP turned on Lashley, pretty much saying that, he made it seem like Lashley doesn't need him anymore. I guess because Lashley came out at WrestleMania without MVP. So I guess he felt some kind of way. Clearly, he felt some kind of way about it. He comes out. He's pretty much like, I want to know why you turned on me. Like, I want to know why you turned on me, and so I'm gonna come out here for the segment which the segment was supposed to be the VIP lounge, MVP's VIP lounge. MVP gets out there and he talks about, pretty much without me there would be no Lashley, because we all seen how Lashley was being booked. I don't even want to think about before MVP how Lashley was being booked, but he was not being booked the way that he was when he got with MVP. So I would have to agree with MVP on this part, because of MVP, he pretty much unleashed the potential that Bobby had. He pretty much unleashed that monster and made him be almighty. He made him the 2-time WWE champion. The WrestleMania match, the match with Brock Lesnar, all those things. And I personally would not have turned. I would have made MVP a babyface. I would have made Bobby a babyface, and that would be Roman's. Like I think I mentioned it on my WrestleMania review. That would be Roman's opponent at SummerSlam. Now I don't know what we do between here and now. I still think that Bobby could be his opponent at SummerSlam, but I think it'll probably end up being Cody at SummerSlam. But I would have never had turned. What's his name? MVP on Lashley, but they turned him and they turned Bobby face. MVP is still held and they team MVP up with almost whatever his name is. To me, there's no potential in him. I think he's reached the ceiling. He's not going to be a world champion. So I think they just wasting time with MVP and this guy. But they come out and he says all those things. And he pretty much, got one over on Bobby. And Bobby was like, when I'm finished with Omos and cutting him down and bringing him back down to size, I'm coming after you next. Like, I'm coming after you. You turned on me because you're my best friend. I'm coming after you. I'm going to get you. Now, I don't know if they're actually going to give us a match between Bobby and MVP, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But I don't think Bobby should lose any of these matches against Omos. How do you say his damn name? I don't think he should lose any of these matches. yeah, I would continue to book Bobby as a winner in this feud, and then move him on to. I will always keep him the main title. I would never take him out of the main picture, thing, whatever. Bianca Belair's out next for her match against Zelina. But before that, they go back to that shit that I hate, having the people out there. Then they go to commercial, then they come back and do a whole segment. In this situation, they did 3 quick segments. So backstage, we see they come back from commercial break. Backstage, we see Austin Theory, who is now going by Theory because and he's saying, they're letting him know that he gets his championship match against Finn Balor next week. If he doesn't win next week, he's going to win at Backlash, because I can see them having a continuation match or a rematch at Backlash if he doesn't win next week. But he's most likely taking that title off of him. And then Kevin Owens walks in and he's like, I want to talk to Elias, aka Ezekiel. I want to find out, I need his birth certificate, I need his this, and I need that. And then they're like, you can't get all of that. So he's like, well, I want a ladder touch with him next week. So it looks like Ezekiel and Kevin Owens, that'll be their first feud for him coming back. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure there'll be some shenanigans with it, but cool. Sonya says, Bianca she spoke last week about, she's ready to find out who her next opponent's going to be. And in this, she had a binder. She's like, in this binder, I have exactly who it's going to be. So we come out, they do the match. The match is quick. Of course, Bianca gets the win. And then Sonya comes out. So this is the part where things got interesting to me, because I'm like, okay, is Asuka coming back? Is Bayley coming back? Is Io getting called up? What's going on here? So she comes out and she's like, she goes out. She's like, I'm sure Becky will want her rematch. When Carmella comes back, she'll probably, she'll be a challenger. Rhea will be a challenger. For some reason, she added Dana Brooke. I don't know why she added her name. She was throwing out names, and she was letting Bianca know, you have competition. The women's division is thriving. I'm not sure what division she's talking about, but the women's division is thriving. And she was like, in this binder is a contract for open challenge. You sign this and blah, blah, blah. Bianca's like, I'm the EST, the quickest, the fastest, the roughest, the toughest, the bravest. And then she says, I said what I said, and she signed a contract. So Sonya did a very good job of egging it up and making it seem like somebody was going to return. And Bianca looked towards the ramp, and Sonya backed up and attacked her. And Sonya is she's now the number 1 contender for the championship, which I actually don't mind it, because she's using her power to get a championship match. And it's something different we haven't seen that I know of, Bianca versus Sonya. It's something, like I said, there's really nobody else on the roster, so it's good to see her back in the ring. I don't have an issue with it. She doesn't need to win, but it's good to see Sonya back in the ring. She was in the ring with Naomi, now she's in the ring with Bianca, so it's good to see her back in the ring and see what's going to happen. And as she has that power, so she can really egg on and do all kind of crazy stuff the next couple of weeks to really build that up. So we'll see. So this is the beginning of Bianca's title reigns. I'm sure there'll be people who have problems with it. Don't nobody care what they will have a problem with. I think this is going to be a good start. The next match up is RK Bro versus Alpha Academy. RK Bro wins. This segment was really about the Usos coming back. So last Friday, Roman Reigns said he wants the Usos to go to Raw to unify the titles. Me and probably everybody else in this community have been screaming and yelling and crying and complaining about the goddamn titles, the division. And we have been saying it for, I can't tell you how long. The tag team, out of all, in my opinion, out of all of the divisions, the tag team division is a division that needs to be unified. Point blank, period. You got about 4 or 5 teams on each division. That's not a division. So hopefully this takes place. Hopefully it will be one division. They can float back and forth, and that can be that. It doesn't need to be two. Y'all don't care enough about tag teams anymore for it to be two. For it to be two divisions. Sorry, they just don't care enough. They'll break a team up in a heartbeat. They don't care enough. So pretty much the Usos come out. As the Usos get in the ring and saying, we come here to get the titles and unify the titles. We challenge you to a match. Street Profits come out. And Street Profits are pretty much like, no, we can't have that happen. And then Randy eggs on the match. And we end up getting an excellent match between the Street Profits and the Usos. My opinion, I think the Usos versus the Street Profits it's going to be a better match than RK Bro versus the Usos. That's just my personal opinion. But the Usos get the win after a very, 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 very good match. After that, the RK Bro gets in the ring. They face them. They all hold their titles up. They haven't confirmed anything yet, but it looks like we're going to be getting that. So, like I said, Raw was tolerable tonight. Next week we'll have 2 championship matches. So far, it looks like we got about 2 matches at Backlash so far, which is in a couple weeks, I think. We'll see what happens on SmackDown. I forget what the hell going to happen on SmackDown. I don't even know. But Raw was fine tonight. It was decent. It did what it needed to do. It made the time go by quickly, and they got some interesting stuff going on that people are, including myself, are interested to see. What happens from here and where they're going to go from here, going into their new season, their new year of competition and things like that. So we'll see what happens. That was my review tonight, you all. Hopefully, I know I didn't talk about the 24/7 championship. I don't plan on talking about it. And I'll see you on Friday for SmackDown. Everybody enjoy their night. Enjoy your week. Be blessed. Peace. Peace.